Identity is everything. If you want to change your life, the first step isn't motivation, it's identity. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And your systems are built on who you believe you are. If your eternal story says you're someone who procrastinates, gives up, or can't follow through, that identity will show up before any to-do list ever does. You have to fully accept who you want to become. Whether that's a content creator, an artist, an athlete, or even a YouTuber. Whatever it is, you need to say it out loud. Name it, claim it, and then start acting as if it was already true. Not someday, today. But here's where most people get stuck, with imposter syndrome. You say, I'm a photographer, then you hear that voice in your head say, no, you're not. You may say, I'm a YouTuber, and then that voice comes back with 200 subs, really? That's imposter syndrome. The mental barrier between where you are now and where you want to be. It creeps in quietly, dressed as humility, but it's really just fear in disguise. Fear that you'll be judged, fear that you'll fail, fear that you don't deserve the identity that you're claiming. For me, that identity was I wanted to become a YouTuber, but even after saying it, I realized I wasn't really living it. I had the desire, but I didn't have the camera in my hand. I was treating it like a hobby, something that I did when I had free time as my camera hid away in my camera bag. I had the gear with me, sure, but it wasn't accessible. It wasn't in my hand and it wasn't ready. And that tiny bit of friction between me and capturing the moment, that's what kept me stuck. Every time I didn't film, I told myself, now's not the right moment. But the reality was, I wasn't prepared to be who I said I was. So I made a rule. If I'm out, my camera is in my hand or around my neck, period. That one decision to remove the friction, that changed everything. If you want to be a creator, your camera needs to be in your hand. If you want to be an athlete, you need to eat like one, sleep like one, and train like one. And if you want to be a musician, that instrument needs to live in your hands. Identity isn't just a mindset, it's a movement pattern, it's a lifestyle, and the sooner you align your environment with that identity, the faster you become it. So why does this matter to you? If you're watching this, it's probably because you already have that spark in you. You already want to start creating content, capturing the beauty in everyday life, documenting your fitness journey, creating art, or simply building something real and meaningful. But here's the thing, waiting isn't just enough. You need to remove every ounce of friction between you and that new identity. You can't become a photographer if your camera is always zipped up. You can't become a writer if your notebook is never open. You can't become a YouTuber if your gear is always tucked away in your closet. The thing that's stopping you isn't lack of talent, it's lack of access. And you have the power to fix that today. Imposter syndrome thrives on silence and inaction. Every time you hold back, it gets louder. Every time you hesitate, it grows. And when you take just one step, one action that aligns with your new identity, you build proof. The proof is the antidote to that imposter syndrome. Ask yourself, what's one habit, object, or behavior that if you made it easier, would pull you closer to who you want to be? Make it visible, make it stupidly accessible, let it live where you live. And then when you finally own that identity, when you stop saying I want to be and you start saying I am, everything changes. I'm a person who takes photos, now is looking for shots. I'm a person who documents, now everything becomes content. I'm a person who trains like an athlete, now you're showing up differently. The reward isn't just results, it's self-respect. And then when your actions align with that identity, you gain momentum. And with momentum comes confidence, and not fake confidence, that's earned confidence. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be consistent. Every time you show up for that identity, you collect receipts. A photo taken when no one asked, a video shot when you felt awkward, a workout finished when no one was watching. Each one of those is a vote for the future you. Each one of those silences imposter syndrome just a little bit more. And here's the secret. It doesn't matter if no one else believes in you yet. Your evidence will become that armor. The more you act like it, the more you become it. And once you've built that identity with enough proof, no one can take that away from you. And if I'm being honest with you, when I first said that I was a YouTuber, it didn't feel real. It actually felt very awkward. I have maybe a few hundred subs and no one really knows my name. My footage is still sometimes shaky and out of focus. My videos get maybe 100 views max, and I felt like an imposter every time I've pulled out my camera. But I kept asking myself, who do I want to become? Who are the people that I look up to? People like Peter McKinnon, Casey Neistat, or Matt D'Avella. What would they be doing if they were in my shoes? Would they wait until they had 1 million subscribers to get started? Would they hide their camera away in a backpack just to avoid a few weird looks in public? No. They'd shoot, they'd document, they would create. Because they are creators. That's what they do. So I followed that feeling, that weird, uncomfortable pull towards who I wanted to be, and I let my actions lead the way until my feelings finally caught up. And the more I do, the less awkward it becomes. The more I document, the more confident I feel. The more I leaned in, the more people started to notice. And now I get footage, I get content, I get so much irrefutable evidence that I don't need to convince anyone who I am. I'm not chasing identity anymore. Now I'm living it. And so can you. So this is what I did, and it's what you can do as well. Here's how I removed the friction and rewired my identity. First, I made peace with my identity. I said I want to be a YouTuber. I'm not aspiring, not someday, right now. I gave myself permission to act like it as well, even when it felt weird and uncomfortable. I identified my biggest friction. I wasn't getting footage because I didn't have my camera on me, or I had it, but I was buried away in some bag, too slow and too inconvenient to grab. So I removed that friction. I started bringing my camera everywhere. And then when I stopped hiding it, I started filming everything, especially if it was related to the story that I was telling. I turned awkwardness into evidence. Every clip I shot was another reason to believe I am who I say I am. Every video uploaded was a win, no matter the view count. And I repeated it every time I went out. No more hiding, no more waiting, just action, daily. And now no one can tell me otherwise. I'm not waiting to become because I've already started. You can do this too. Step 1, say who you are. Step 2, identify that friction and remove it. And then step 3, live it. Live that identity. And repeat it until your actions speak louder than your own doubts. This isn't hustle, it's not hustle culture, it's about harmony in your life. It's about closing the gap between your future self and your present behavior. The only thing standing between you and who you want to be is hesitation. So remove it. Let the world catch up to the identity that you've already claimed for yourself. And above all else, create what you want to see in the world. Thanks for watching.